All right. It is 6 o'clock on the dot, and I am going to be sharing some really good things today. So I'm excited for a live video. It won't be really long, so we won't be on here more than probably about 20 minutes. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out to watch, whether you're watching live or it is recorded, or you're watching the recording. I appreciate you taking time. So I feel like we should start it off by just saying that my thoughts and prayers are with the families and the friends and everybody that is impacted by the unfortunate plane crash that happened last night. I know that it is still details kind of rolling in on it, but it's definitely an unfortunate situation. And I really and praying for those that were impacted. We even had someone from Mississippi that was on the plane, the airline. So it's so many people that have been impacted by it, so many different places. So, as we kind of transition to what we are talking about today, so today's topic is 5 steps to break free from feeling stuck in your career. I felt like this is a very appropriate topic for this time of year. I mean, people can feel stuck any time of the year, but especially around New Year's, it kind of comes up, those feelings. We want something new, we want something fresh, we want to make a change at the new year. And I really want to make sure that we are bringing those feelings along with us throughout the year. We don't get that rush and that motivation in January, and then it goes away as the year progresses. So as we are moving into February, we want to make sure that we are really staying focused on how to get unstuck. So I will change this up so that you guys can see the slides a little easier, make it bigger. Let's jump into how can we get unstuck. So the first thing is, why am I not moving forward? I have the little guy in the maze and the lady looking at the computer just so confused because a lot of times we don't understand why we're getting that feeling. Why am I feeling like I can't move forward and in my career? We're going to specifically be talking about retail careers. This will apply to any career, but retail is definitely my specialty. So I'll give you a little backstory about me. I have been working in retail since I was in high school. I started retail in 2025. Or no, we're in 2025. In 2005, I started retail, so 20 years. My first job in high school was working as a cashier, and I really just kind of fell in love with retail, and it stuck. Am a naturally very reserved person, and retail has definitely brought me out of my shell. Being at work, it was really my happy place, and I still really enjoy going to work and being around people. I found a lot of balance, and I found my voice when I was working in retail. At school, I was really quiet, off to myself, whether it be high school, college. But when I got to work, that was like my place to shine. I felt like I could talk to the customers. I felt like I could talk to my associates, employees, peers, all of the things. And so that's why I have been in retail for so long. I started out, like I said, as a cashier and quickly progressed to other roles. So I've done retail management, department supervisor. I currently am HR, so I can give you aspects of retail from so many different perspectives. So we're going to figure out, why are you not moving forward? The first step is going to be, get clear on your goals. So, what is your dream role? Is it growth in your current company, or are you looking for a fresh start? Are you looking to go for a completely different company? Are you looking to go to a completely different area of retail, or are you trying to get out of retail altogether? You just really want to be clear on what it is you are working towards, and then set clear targets so that you can stay motivated. So once you identify your dream role, I knew for me, my dream role was to become a store manager. And that kind of transition, once I hit that goal, it transitioned to some other things. But first off, my goal was to become a store manager. So I wanted to be able to be the person to set the pace for the store and execute my vision. So I knew that that was going to be my goal. And I was very clear on the time frame that I wanted to hit it when I first made that decision. So I knew that I was going to do it in a different company than the company I originally was working for. So I was working for a sporting good company, but I wanted to transition to a different one that honestly, one that paid more than the company I was in. And so I made the transition to grocery, and that is where I started my salary retail manager career for grocery. So once you get really clear on your goals, so you sit down, and this kind of takes some time. It's not always a right away situation. It takes a little bit of time to be really specific around what that dream role is, why it's your dream role. Do you want the flexibility? Do you want to be able to set your own schedule? Do you want to be able to make sure that you are making a certain amount of money? And that will help you to identify the roles that you want. I sometimes people will come to me in my current role in HR, and they'll say, I really want to make more money. And I will ask, how much is it that you're wanting to make? Because that will tell me what role you're needing to work towards getting to. And it could be a leadership role as in a department supervisor. They might want to go into management, might want to be a store manager. It's so many different things. But once we get clear on why they want the role, what the role they're looking for, are they looking for a flexible schedule, work from home, the pay, all of those things is something that you want to think about to clarify what your goal is. So that way we can work towards it. If we don't know where we're going, then it's going to be really hard to hit a goal. So the next thing we want to do is identify our strengths. So many times people think that they can just come to work and, do a really good job and that's going to get them promoted. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the hardest worker gets promoted, and sometimes it's not the hardest worker. Sometimes it's the person that knows how to leverage their skill set the best and be able to articulate that the best way in the interview. So you want to identify your strengths so that way you know what you are really good at, and you can start talking that up. You can start making sure that you are doing work that really brings those strengths out. So I think about a situation for someone who I worked with, and she was a really good organizer. She was able to organize people. She was able to execute things really well. And that was a real strength of hers. And so when she went into the next role, she was an assistant manager. She went into an assistant manager role that really capitalized on the organizational pieces. So there were different roles that you could pick from, or not so much pick from. There are different roles that you could work towards, different. And so the one that I really suggested that she work towards was an operations role, because it it made her strength really shine, because she could organize things. She was really able to dive into numbers and make sure that she was getting results based off of the metrics. All of those things were her strengths. And so she really excelled in the position because she picked a role that was aligned with her strengths. So at the end of this, I will share a tool that I have that will help you identify those strengths. Sometimes you don't know. It's really hard to be able to say, oh, I'm so good at this, because we're not used to always talking about ourselves, and it can make you a little bit uncomfortable. And so this tool will help you to identify areas that you do really well in, so you know what jobs will help you align with that. And when you have a role that is already going to be something that is in that lane that you have strengths in, you typically will enjoy it a lot more. I'm not saying that you don't want to improve in areas that you have to improve in, because you definitely want to improve in your weaknesses, but we can focus on our weaknesses so much that we don't give ourselves credit for the strengths, and the strengths will likely improve your career faster as you continue to work on improving those opportunities. So we are identifying our strengths in 2025. The next thing that we are going to do is prepare like a pro. So I want you to connect with peers. I want you to connect with mentors, leverage sites like LinkedIn. You want to update your family and friends on and let them know, hey, I'm really wanting to look for another role. So if you hear of anything, definitely keep me in mind. When I got my last two roles, it was because I was leveraging these things. So I leveraged a previous peer, well, actually a previous boss. So someone that I had worked for in the past is the reason that I am at my current job, because we stayed connected on LinkedIn. So it was twofold. So I leveraged the peer and I leveraged LinkedIn because I kept it updated. He was able to reach out to me when a role came up and he thought about me. He kind of followed my career over. It was almost 10 years since I had worked for him, but he had followed my career on LinkedIn. And when something came up, he said, hey, I think I knew someone who would do really well at that. And so then I've also had people reach out to me on LinkedIn as recent as last year. I had someone reach out to me about a couple of different roles. And it wasn't anything that I was even looking for, but because I kept my profile updated, the recruiters reached out, and I was able to find out more information about those jobs. And ultimately, I did not pursue them, but it was a great opportunity to see that LinkedIn really is still a place that will help you to prepare and grow your career. So another place that you can leverage is mentors. And so you can reach out to any previous mentors or your current mentors that you have and let them know that you are looking to grow your career. And they can give you some guidance on how to navigate the lane of going into a different place. So your mentor might be someone who is in the role that you're wanting to grow to, or someone who has had that role in the past and they can give you some tips on it. You want to be able to have someone that can give you really open, honest feedback, and that's that mentor. And then you can utilize them to help to make sure that you're staying on track. So we're already clarified our goal. We're working towards it. How can we leverage the people that we already know to help us get there faster? We want to make sure that we are taking action in our current role. This is something that is often overlooked. And when I sit down with someone to help them with interview prep, and the first thing that I tell them to do is to come to the first session. I want you to come with a couple of situations in mind. And I give them the specifics on what situations I want them to think about. And so if they come to that meeting and they don't have the situations that I've asked them to already be thinking about so that we can turn those into really great answers, then it lets me know that they're not leveraging their current role. Even if you're not currently in a leadership role, you can leverage skill sets that will help you to highlight that you are a really great candidate for leadership. So if you're currently in leadership and you're looking to go for a higher leadership role, then you definitely should be able to pull some of the specific actions that you're taking in your current role. So think about, how can I show that I'm a leader? How can I show that I have the strengths that I identified in a previous step? How can I take on opportunities at work that can showcase that? So when it's time to sit down and prep for an interview, you have those situations, you have those examples, you have those stories to be able to pull from, and it will be a lot easier to prepare. We don't want to take on the mindset of that's not my job. If you have the ability to take on some different stretch assignments that allow you to get some different experiences in the current role that will apply for the role that you're interested in, then definitely take that on, because it will help you in the long run. So take action in your current role so that you have experiences to pull on as you're interviewing for your next role. And the final thing is, we want to have a winning mindset. It is really easy to be thinking about all of the things that we want to do in life and the way that we want our career to go and kind of get frustrated by the fact that it's not on the path that we want it to be. But you've got to make sure that you have a really strong mindset. So you are staying positive, you are focused on your goal. You're not focused on the right now, where you are right now. You're focused on where you're headed and you are staying motivated. It's hard to stay motivated if you are not in a positive mindset. So, what are a couple things that you can do to keep that winning mindset? I love podcasts. So, you know that I just started a podcast, or you might not know that I just started a podcast. The Career Shift, it is available on YouTube. It's available on YouTube Music, on Spotify. So, the Career Shift podcast, if you're listening to that or you're listening to other podcasts that are able to give you motivation, I definitely encourage you to find a really good book to read, one that I love. And let's see, let me grab it. A book that I really love. It was one of the first books that I read when I was just learning about how to have a positive mindset. And it is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It is a classic. Whether you want to grow rich in financials, as in money, or you want to grow rich in other areas of your life, rich in your relationships or your health, it all applies. So don't think that Think and Grow Rich is only about money. You can apply the concepts to so many other areas in your life. So read a book. You can listen to You can listen to Audible books. I have an Audible membership, so I'm always downloading different books so that I can listen to them. You can listen to music. Music is another really great way to get you up and motivated. If you are starting with low energy for the day, you can put on a playlist that will really pump you up, and then next thing you know, your mindset is where it needs to be. You're feeling energized. So definitely you can utilize music. So many different ways to be intentional around a winning mindset. The big key is just to be intentional around it. Don't just wake up and kind of go around with your day as to however you're feeling. Really think about the fact that you want to keep your energy up so that you can stay focused on your goals and you can stay motivated throughout the year. Because again, we are not just stopping at staying motivated in January. We are taking this thing all the way through 2025 so that in December, we can say, wow, look at all of the things I was able to achieve in my career because 2025 was the year that I was intentional. So I told you that I've got a very special offer, something that is going to help you, and it is free. So this is the Skill Set Scanner, and you can download it at theavisgreen.com/scanner. That will allow you to sit and think about your strengths and identify them so that you know what areas you want to leverage and what areas you can talk about that you do a really good job in. So definitely go to download the Skill Set Scanner at theavisgreen.com/scanner. I cannot wait to hear how it helps you. If you have any questions, then definitely send me messages on social media. I definitely keep up with those and love to hear from everyone on their perspective as far as how they're utilizing these tools, what your goals are for 2025, and how you are achieving them. And, feel free to ask questions so that I can help you to achieve those. The last thing I have as we are rounding out our 20 minutes is I want to make sure that I share. I have a book that is coming out. So it is Mastering the Interview: 5 Mistakes You Can't Afford to Make. And this goes live on Saturday. I am really excited. It's something that I've been working on for quite some time. I just sat down and actually put into words all of the opportunities that I see so many people make in interviewing. Like I said, I've been in retail management and HR for the last 15 years, been in retail for 20 years, and I've seen a lot of mistakes in interviews. And so I kept seeing a pattern. I would see a pattern. And when I went to go help people prep for their interviews, I saw a pattern in the things that people changed and then landed their jobs that they were interviewing for versus ones who didn't change and went in interviews the same way. So this is the 5 mistakes you can't afford to make. It will go live on Saturday. So please make sure that you are on the lookout for it. And if you download the skill set scanner, then on Saturday, you'll receive the link as to how you can purchase this. It's going to be available on digital download. So if you just want it digitally, we'll have that. Or if you want a physical copy, I am definitely a physical copy girly. You saw I have my physical copy of my book. I like to be able to flip through the pages. Then you can have it, you can order a physical copy as well. So all of that will come out on Saturday morning. Really excited about it. So skill set scanner, you can get today. Mastering the Interview book, you can get on Saturday, and you can reach me anytime on any of my socials. I look forward to helping everyone that is interested achieve their goals in 2025 when it comes to their careers, whether it is improving in your current career or landing your dream job. I am here to help support you throughout that process. So I will see you guys later. If you have not checked out my blog, then definitely check the blog out. I've got the podcast going. So many things to help make 2025 the best year ever in your career. Thank you.